because like I'm trying to figure out when the first time I talked about Blake Masters and when that was, because like the first time he popped off on the timeline was that video that is like going viral again. We're gonna talk about that in a second, or maybe we can. I guess we could just start talking about Blake Masters right now because he took a fat L last night. Finally, Mark Kelly, the astronaut, has defeated Blake Masters, officially. And like he underperformed so bad, like he underperformed against the National Republican, performance. Like, and this was part of the reason. This is like exactly the type of ads that he cut. This was, I think, the first ad that I ever saw of his, and I remember watching this and thinking like, this guy's he's fucked up.
This is a Walther PPK, otherwise known as the James Bond gun. This is chambered in 22 LR, and I've got a dead air mask silencer on it. I've wanted this gun for a long time, ever since I was a little kid. Made in Germany.
Like, dude, immediate self-report. Like, what do you mean? You wanted this gun for a long time? He mentions that this fucking gun is made in Germany 11 times. He whispers in the end of the fucking ad. He literally just like, first of all, he's a competitive shooter. For the record, for those of you who don't know, he is a competitive shooter because I remember someone telling me that he was a competitive shooter when this video first came out, and I was saying like, bro, this dude is fucking weird as shit. What is he doing? I bet he's not even really hitting those shots because that's a really hard shot to hit without any scopes or any sights or anything like that. And someone was like, nah, he's a competitive shooter. He made like a YouTube gun reviewer type video for his candidacy. This tweet, no, this is not. This is late in the game. I had talked about this before. I love talking about how unreasonable it is to fear a virus that killed nearly 900K Americans, but totally valid when you're terrified schools are teaching racism instead of reading and writing. This is not the first time I ever reacted to Blake Masters was this video. This was way before January 25th. It was around the time that this video actually came out. So this is like a gun reviewer, right? The problem is that like he doesn't even have the charisma of fucking gun YouTubers. Okay? He does not have the charisma of gun YouTubers even. Okay? And it's not even comical. When like Kay Ivey or some fucking weirdo, in the South is trying to establish themselves as like a pro-gun conservative, they oftentimes do something comical, right? Like it's like kind of loud, it's campy, it's comical. This is way too fucking serious, and he just looks way too fucking serious about being a shooter.
.007 gun, why would you not want this? Let's load it up and see how it shoots. Silencers sometimes get a bad rap. People want to pretend that it makes it easy to commit crime or something like that. But actually, shooting with a silencer...
it makes it easier to commit a crime or something like that.
Just makes it a whole lot more pleasant to shoot. Because
you could make your entire... Listen, bro. You could make your entire fucking appeal to a group of people that you like guns and that you're going to protect guns, okay? This is something entirely different. He is way, way too into it, bro. He is weird. It's not something that you can just describe. He just has school shooter energy. He looks like he is writing a fucking manifesto and he is going to go to school tomorrow and shoot up the fucking school. That's what he sounds like. That's what he feels like. And most normal motherfuckers look at that guy and go, nope. Something about him, I can't fucking put it. He's a gigantic nerd, and he just has no charisma, no riz, L riz.
Giant ear protection. Wow. Hopefully you can hear how quiet that is. Whisper quiet. It's pretty cool. Made in Germany. It's very cool. Just a little bit warm. Oop, very hot. That's definitely a fun and quiet gun. The weirdest thing is just being able to sort of feel, because there's no sound, right? You just feel the bullet.
Dude, he's like breathing heavy. Did he whisper already? I missed it. He like touches the suppressor.
Just a little bit warm.
Just a little bit warm. Oh, it's so fucking good. Made in Germany, by the way. This was Hitler's favorite gun. It's so quiet. You could really murder a whole bunch of puppies at the... You could really murder a whole bunch of... No, this is not the one I'm talking about. I mean, this is... It's way, way older than this. I remember reacting to that ad, specifically this ad. He's like, yeah, you could go into an adoption center and just kill a whole bunch of puppies before they figure out that what you're doing. Honestly, the best way... Honestly, the best way to get that murderous urge out is just leaning into your desires.
Oop, very hot. That's definitely a fun and quiet gun. The weirdest thing is just being able to sort of feel, because there's no sound, right? You just feel the bullet, hear it.
That's it. That's his like first ever campaign ad. Oh wait, here's where he's whispering. Here, watch this part again.
It's very cool.
It's very cool. Like it. You like that? Anyway, so, bro, he has an E39 M5 though. Like, come on, man, I gotta vote for him. Yeah, it's perfect. The moment that he captivates a fucking bi-coastal elitist like you on behalf of his fucking sick car, which he does have a cool car, it's over. It's game over. No one in Arizona is voting for him. Remember, if you like a political candidate, if you're particularly fearful of a political candidate, remember that most likely is going to be the exact opposite way. It's going to be seen as in the exact opposite way by someone who is in his constituency, or at least large parts of his constituency. Okay? Remember what I fucking said about John Fetterwap, when he was like not very clear, but then a lot of us in the chat were worried, and I thought to myself after a long time, I was like, I mean, the people that want someone to be really, really good at communicating, okay, the people that want like this rhetoric out of their politicians, the people that want their politicians to be like decent orators are already like high educated libs living in bi-coastal areas, okay? And the reality is those guys are going to fucking vote blue anyway. You know, none of those people that are like, oh man, oh shit, my candidate is not as articulate as I thought is going to go and vote for fucking Dr. Oz over that, because you're already in the high education bracket regardless. Also, the coloring and the aspect ratio adds this insane layer that makes it feel horrible, like a villain from a Coen Brothers movie. Yeah, the BMW in the dirt adds a whole nother layer. Dude, it literally feels like this guy is literally like, hey, Want to come with me outside Tucson somewhere far away where no one can hear us shoot with my suppressor? Here, I'll put you in my BMW's trunk. I mean, I'll put you in the shotgun seat. I mean, I'll shoot you with a shotgun. Fuck. I meant, let's go shooting.
This is a wall.
Look. Doesn't this read like, look. Here, I'm going to do this right now. I'm stuck.
This is a Walther PPK, otherwise known as the James Bond gun. This is chambered in 22.
He's like, I'm stuck. Anyway, so that was his like fucking first ever hit. I think this is the old clip that you wanted.
This is a short-barreled rifle.
Oh yeah, this was the one.
For hunting. This is designed to kill people. But if you're not a bad guy, I support your right to own one. The Second Amendment is not about duck hunting. It's about protecting your family and your country. What's the first thing the Taliban did when Joe Biden handed them Afghanistan? They took away people's guns.
Dude, this is so ominous, dude. It's so fucking ominous. Also, what do you mean when you say he's a Peter Thiel guy? He's racist? Oh, he's one of Peter Thiel's fucking blood boys. Like JD Vance. Like JD Vance got too fat for Peter Thiel to suck the blood of directly. So then like he had to move on to a different blood boy. I'm sorry, dude. My political commentary is excellent, okay? So he was like, Blake Masters, like, you look like the type of guy who still runs like triathlons and stuff. You know what I mean? Like he's like, he has the typical build of a guy who wears those like incredibly short shorts and his legs are somehow still too skinny for those short shorts. And it looks like his ball sack is going to drop from one side. You know, he's like clearly working out still. So Peter Thiel is sucking his blood instead. Yeah, for inseam. JD Vance became whole milk. He likes his blood 2% or lower. Exactly.
That's how it works. I'm Blake Masters. I'm running for the U.S. Senate in Arizona, and I approve this message because without gun rights, before long, you have no rights.
He's also a sharpshooter too, which makes it even worse. Hey Twitter, voice of reason here. There is an older video then, because at that point I knew. At that point I had reacted to his older, like that ad I reacted to when it first came out. Anyway, whatever. I kept telling you that there's something fucking weird about him. There's something incredibly weird about him. There's a weird aura around him. And guess what? People also noticed that. I wasn't fucking alone. Okay? And that's it. It was just like, there was just something that you could fucking, there was just something that was like really off about him. Okay? And that something was the fact that he behaves and ran a campaign very similar to like how a bunch of groypers would try to run a campaign. Like, oh yeah, we're really nerdy and we love fucking guns. We didn't even need the Libertarian Andy to spoil it for him. Yeah. He came across as like super inauthentic. He was a charisma suck across the board. And on top of that, like he was like very clearly trying to add himself to the fucking conversation every time something was happening nationally. And it didn't work.
America isn't just an idea. We're a country. We're a people with a history.
And the thing is, like, even his racism was too nerdy and too unapproachable, right? Like, at least JD Vance is from Ohio, you know what I mean? So, like, he can communicate with the soda boys, even though, like, he fucking despises them. He despises the bicoastal elites for not accepting him, and he despises the soda boys for, causing the bicoastal elite to not accept him because he himself is a soda boy originally, right? But ultimately, he knows the right things to say. You know, he's like, this guy, completely outside of this world. Very clearly, he's like if you were to build like a nerdy guy, okay? If you were to build a nerdy guy in a lab, you think a bunch of people who have never actually been outside are gonna think that like this guy's gonna actually kill it. This is what they would do.
And a culture. This is the home of Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone, of Mark Twain and Ernest Hemingway, of Norman Rockwell and Chuck Berry. Or how about... I can hear the screeching already. That list isn't diverse enough. That's all these people can talk about.
Like, it's so fucking inauthentic, dude. Like, just be racist, dog. What's wrong with you? Just be way more openly racist. Like, this type of, like, polite racism is not going to get you you're too liberal. You're too lib-coded. You know what I mean? People that say this sort of shit don't look like you, okay? And they don't pussyfoot around it. Like, Donald Trump will literally just be like, Robert E. Lee was a great general, perhaps the greatest, but the liberals, they hate him. Don't they hate him, folks? Robert Lee, they say he's a great general, had a mind just like me. You know what I mean? It's like that's not hiding the fucking racism. You're like, oh, Davy Crockett, oh, liberals are going to say this list is too white. Like, he's trying to do a William F. Buckley shit at a time when people don't want that. They want Donald Trump style, like, howling, hooting and hollering.
But when's the last time you heard NPR talk about American greatness? When's the last time you heard a leftist say anything good at all about our people?
He's trying to do Tucker Carlson, and he's failing at it. Do you get what I'm saying? He wants to be Tucker Carlson. Like, he's trying to do the Tucker Carlson line. But, like, even Tucker Carlson does a better job at, I mean, an infinitely better job of, like, doing propaganda and sophisticated racism, you know?
They don't do it. If it were up to them, we wouldn't even exist. That's why they're obsessed with tearing down statues. I'm Blake Masters. I'm running for the U.S. Senate in Arizona, and I approve this message because I am proud to be an American.
They blasted him with ads about privatizing Social Security too? Yeah, of course, dude. Of course they did. Because he is a Peter Thiel blood boy. He 100%. I mean, this isn't what you do too for propaganda for leftists like Tucker, but for right. Yes. I hope to be as successful and as popular as Tucker Carlson one day and be able to do leftist propaganda, except the systems are designed in a way that would never allow that to happen. So the only thing I can do is basically fucking do this in my little corner of the internet. Blake Masters is as uncharismatic as the average Democrat. Yeah. He's too much. Yeah, he's too much of a nerd for fascism. And he was too much of a base groiper type to like actually fucking put together cogent points that really got people excited, and that's why he got fucking destroyed. Something super inauthentic about his, like, you know, cardboard cutout, Peter Thiel backed attitude and messaging. Okay, one of the greatest examples of this that I can think of, if you're wondering like how the fuck this guy got owned so hard, one of the greatest examples I could think of was like, wait, let me see if this is in the replies here. Do you guys remember when he did the soy jack? Do you remember when he did the soy jack thing? Like the average Mark Kelly voter versus average Blake Masters supporter, enjoyer, whatever. He literally had a soy jack ad, dude. The Republicans of Arizona actually posted. The GOP in Arizona made a fucking meme where they thought that this was going to pop off for fucking Blake Masters for some reason. We're going to listen to his rap in a second. I had actually never heard his. Look at this. Look at how fucking bad this ad is. Friends don't let friends vote for Mark Kelly. Average Mark Kelly fan. It's just Mark Kelly as soy, but he's still in the astronaut suit. Versus average Blake Masters enjoyer. Oh, look, Blake Masters has a better fucking jawline than Mark Kelly? Like, what? Dude, this is when you are too lost in the sauce. You looked at too many memes, brother. This is when you literally fucking thought that memes elected Donald Trump. Who the fuck hired this guy? Like, yeah, this stuff is great for groypers, but those guys don't leave the fucking basement to go out and vote. Because the one time that they go outside to fucking try and kill Nancy Pelosi and then get domed and owned by Paul Pelosi, an 84-year-old man with the same fucking hammer that you wanted to use to kill Nancy Pelosi, and then everybody calls you a gay loser. Okay? That's the only time one of these fucking basement-dwelling, neck-bearded, mouth-breathing groypers actually fucking sees the sunlight. Okay? Is to have gay sex with Paul Pelosi. It's just like, it's crazy to me. Anyway, there's so much. I mean, this is basically the exact. This hits the heart of that kind of commentary, by the way, which is when you basically state like, oh, I made you look like a fucking nerd and a loser. I made myself look hot in this meme. Therefore, I win and you lose. That's it. You know what I mean? That's it. That's like what your meme is. You're basically saying like, I made you look ugly and like a loser, and I made myself look hot, and therefore I'm a winner and I'm, goated. No one in Arizona is going to look at that and go, yeah, that's right. That's true, actually. Anyway, here, this is apparently him fucking rapping. In a 2008 video, Arizona Senate candidate Blake Masters rapped in a mock Native American face paint to ridicule the politically correct police. I love this. I had never seen this before. Oh my God.
My beat is gone. We're back. So Barack Obama called the waitress a sweetie today. Now the press is having a day. They're getting all mad. They're looking for a fight. I'm reading the news. I'm like, this shit ain't right. What's going on here? He can't speak the truth. What if she was a sweetie? What if she was cute? It's a sad day in society when 1 + 2 can't equal 3. I'm no fan of his policies, but he's not a sexist. Everybody knows this. He's wandered around with Lexus, but it didn't work. What an idiot. Why would I... Here we go. How about we talk about the way I look? Everybody knows that's off the hook. I've got the war paint on, as you can see. Who said what about cultural insensitivity? Nah, man. It's just having fun.
Bro, this dude literally is like in every way, shape, or form a school shooter. That was my greatest lock, okay? My greatest lock on Blake Masters was I said that he was a fucking school shooter candidate, and that's it. This motherfucker literally ran the most school shooter candidacy he could have, and he got fucking owned. Jesus, it is so bad. It is just so awful. Oh my God.
Don't blame me. I ain't the one. Where's my beat? Something. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I dress up as an Indian. If you don't like it, I'm gonna take you into the political correct police, throw you in jail. Blake makes it rock, but Sean D, he makes it hail. Everybody knows that I can't beat that guy. His rounds were, oh my God, super fly. I'm almost embarrassed to be...
I mean, dude, you should be. Yo, Peter Thiel saw this and was like, this is my guy. Peter Thiel was like, this is a guy I'm gonna dump millions of dollars of funds into. This is the guy that's going to win the Arizona Senate and be my guy in the Republican Party, okay? Bro, you know Peter Thiel was after those face cum gutters? This is the type of video we made as kids when we first got access to cameras. I mean, yeah. So here it is, okay? Here's what happened. I didn't even know that this came out, okay? I didn't even know about this, and I'm not surprised by the existence of this video, of course, but like the people in Arizona did not respond positively to this. You don't even have the demographics there in Arizona any longer, regardless, right? And it's going to be pretty hard to outcompete that. But you watched it on stream before, Law? I don't remember this at all. I guess I fucking literally deleted it from my memory if I did watch this. But like also on top of that, he had nothing. Like he had nothing going for him. He had absolutely nothing going for him at all. He had no bona fides. He had no fucking CV. Like, all he had done was write a fucking book alongside Peter Thiel. That's not going to work. They're going up against a fucking astronaut.
Stacked up with him, but sometimes you gotta lose and grin. Alright, C-Bay, think I'm done. That's all I got for you. Hope it was fun. I'd keep on rapping, but you know how it goes. Those guys get gunned down and they get no hose if they continue too long. Like LL Cool J, who the hell is he anyway? Alright, that's my freestyle. I'm going out eloquent. Now I hope you enjoy a special D. I wish that rhymed. Love you, C-Bay.
Videos from 3 months ago and only Mother Jones had it. I don't think you watched it. Yeah, I had not even seen this. Blake Masters does not respond to questions about this video. That is so bad, dude. Oh. It was that was crazy. I mean, but here is a focus group that happened on Blake Masters' opinion. We asked 12 Arizona voters what they thought about Kari Lake and Blake Masters. This is from the New York Times. Okay, here. So let me ask another follow-up, if I may. Is there something different about Blake Masters from Kari Lake that makes you on the fence in the Senate race, but pro Kari Lake in the governor race? Patsy, who's 61 years old, a Republican white teacher, says, yeah, just his, I don't know, his vibe. I guess that's why. Moderator says, okay. She continues, it's just a feeling. A lot of it is a gut feeling. Undefeated. Unfucking defeated. Okay? Blake Masters has the energy. Blake Masters has the energy of a guy who the FBI says we were aware of after he goes out and fucking finally fulfills his desires of shooting up a school or his place of work. Okay? His vibes are off the fucking charts, okay? Vibe detectors break when you direct them in his direction. Okay? That's it. He was on our radar candidate out there, okay? And like, he literally leaned into it. 3 days before the election, does anyone have that fucking post from him? 3 days before the election, he's sitting in a fucking police cruiser with a fucking gun, making it seem like he's going to do a shootout at the polls. It was insane. When I saw that, I was like, that's it. It's done. It's crazy. Yeah, here it was. But that's Ken Klippenstein's like post, right? That's Ken Klippenstein's post. The actual fucking post is even funnier because of the caption. He literally said, like, don't show up the polls tomorrow. He had a don't show up the polls tomorrow ass fucking take. He was like, literally, I think he said something like, see you in 2 days. Locked and loaded, 4 more days. Look at that. That makes it so much worse. Doesn't it sound like he's going to go shoot up a fucking poll? Don't show up to vote tomorrow. You know, you're cool. Don't show up to vote tomorrow, ass fucking post. This is something you put in an ad to promote mail-in voting? No, the funniest part is that he's doing a ride-along with the cops. Like, that gun belongs to the police department. Like, you can see. This is where they do research after the fact and find out 90% of his search history be Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson. Yeah, no wonder they fucking vibe checked his ass and were like, this is terrible. Okay? He tweeted this at 8 p.m. on Valentine's Day. I guarantee the guy driving this truck is a conservative. Imagine a progressive dude driving a logging truck. You can't. Wait, what? Why is he fantasizing about a guy who's like driving a logging truck? So weird, dude. What a fucking weird guy. The same level of fetishization of this like white working class, by the way, that you get from the exact same type of Peter Thiel back motherfuckers that are in the leftist space. Remember how like there were so many of these like weird fucking leftists after Bernie Sanders' fallout that turned around and were like, actually, we are the working class whisperers, and we know how the working class operates. It's just like you have to be racist to be working class, as though like the working class is not fucking diverse, as though there's no like, you know, black and brown people in the working class, no marginalized people of any other background of the working class, like that like the working class is just coal miners in fucking West Virginia, and they're all white and they're all racist. Like all these fucking dumbasses with liberal arts degrees, with art PhDs, that fucking made made podcasts basically declaring themselves to be the working class whisperer. They always fantasized about people like this. And to me, that just showed that there was like a proximity, okay, to the truth. There was always this like weird fantasies, like this weird way to mythologize and fantasize about how like working class people were. Yeah, Red Scare is a big example of this. Yes. And it's the same fucking idiots that think that like the only indication that you are a true working class is if you're conservative. Like, or those are the same people that also think that like, you know, if you work at fucking Starbucks, or if you have like a service industry job, you're not working class. And yeah, I mean, here, Mark Kelly destroyed him right here.
This. You know, guys that think they know better than everyone about everything. You know, you think you know better than women and doctors about abortion. You even think you know better than seniors about Social Security, and you think you know better than veterans about how to win a war. Folks, we all know guys like this, and we can't be letting them make decisions about us because it's just dangerous. I think we all know guys like this.
Isn't the Red Scare the main reason for Americans' hatred for left-wing ideas, politics? No, Red Scare like is in the podcast. We're not talking about Red Scare like the actual propaganda. Anyway, it's just like it's always fallen hilariously short when it comes down to like actual political analysis. And yeah, that's how you get fucking vibe checked by a guy who's also a goober. Like it's not like fucking what's his face? Mark Kelly is like sick or anything like that. I did blast off. What's crazy, man? I'm from Brazil, and we all know that working class, everybody is not rich, they can survive. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to our boy in the khakis. Okay, Steve Kornacki, the khaki. Democrats are now 1 seat away from Senate control. I'm going to run this, and I'm going to go pee real quick. I'll be back.
Meaningful last couple of hours here, as you say, in Arizona. We got the call in the Senate race. It goes to Mark Kelly, the Democrat, the incumbent, defeating Blake Masters. The key to all of this was Maricopa County. It always is in Arizona. And if you've been following this drama all week, we were talking about there's a very particular type of ballot in Maricopa County we were all waiting on. And it was the ballots that were hand-delivered by voters to polling places on Election Day. There's a whole bunch of them in Maricopa County. There's almost 300,000 of them. Republicans had been pinning their hopes on that type of ballot. They were saying it's a very Republican-leaning voter who tends to do that, who takes their ballot in person to the poll places on Election Day. That had happened in 2020. They said it was going to happen again in 2022, and it was how Blake Masters was going to vault past Mark Kelly. Well, we got a big batch of about 75,000 votes, many of them that exact type of ballot I'm describing. And not only did Blake Masters not do as well as expected, Mark Kelly actually carried them. Mark Kelly actually won more votes, significantly more votes from that batch than Blake Masters did. And so with that, you just do not see a path for Blake Masters to catch up in the Senate race. And so Mark Kelly holds on to the Senate race. As significantly, potentially, in Arizona, what I just described, that dynamic I just described, changes the outlook, perhaps, in the governor's race, because here you have Democrat Katie Hobbs leading Republican Kari Lake. We have seen all week that Katie Hobbs has been leading by a smaller margin, about 80,000 fewer votes than Mark Kelly. And we had been looking at this race and saying, well, that giant batch of votes in Maricopa County, if it is a Republican batch of votes, it may not be enough for Blake Masters to overtake Mark Kelly, but it certainly could be enough for Kari Lake to overtake Katie Hobbs. With the numbers we saw from that batch of vote tonight, we saw Hobbs get more votes out of it than Kari Lake. So it raises the...
What happened last night in Arizona was the exact opposite of what Kari Lake needed to even like come near Katie Hobbs. What happened last night in the big batch of votes showed Katie Hobbs' lead extending. Shouts out to the fucking the mules in Arizona for doing election fraud. You guys really did it. The voter fraud. We did it, boys. You know, 2,000 mules, baby.
Possibility that this giant batch of votes in Maricopa, the ones that were dropped off at polling places on election day, may not even be enough to lift Kari Lake past Katie Hobbs. This race is far from being called, but I think there was a lot of thought that this lead from Katie Hobbs may not hold. It still may not, but the possibility that it does is now very real as a result of what we saw come out of Maricopa County tonight. And in addition to that, the Secretary of State's race in Arizona was also called. Mark Finchem, the Republican candidate who had closely aligned himself with Donald Trump.
I mean, Mark Finchem was getting fucking wiped anyway. He was like... Mark Finchem is literally the worst guy for the Secretary of State job. Like, he literally directly ran on, if I get elected, Republicans are never losing again. If I get elected, we are doing voter fraud, okay? We are doing election fraud. We're making it illegal to vote Democrat in the state of Arizona if I get elected. And, of course, motherfuckers in Arizona were like, all right, that's insane. You're going crazy. You're going crazy with it. You know, you're going bananas mode, Mark. Calm the fuck down. And, you know, of course that was going to happen.
With Donald Trump's claims about the 2020.
Dude, here's what happened, dude. They got so confident. They got so confident about their fucking victories. And they got so confident about, like, how much they've been able to exercise their desires no matter what little percentage of base of support they have. And the greatest indication of this is like, or the greatest example of what I'm saying is like abortion, right? Doesn't matter if it's like 20% of the voter base across the board that is like, I am in support of banning abortions. We're going to use the mechanisms beyond the legislative state. We're going to use mechanisms beyond democracy to give you exactly what you want for that 20%. They got so high on their own supply that they started believing, I think, that people will legitimately respond positively when they say, oh, we're going to do crimes on behalf of the Republican Party. We're just going to fucking avoid reality. And they assumed that everyone else would come along with it because it doesn't even fucking matter. Now, the reality is, in America, yes, elections are pretty distorted. Redistricting, gerrymandering has made it so that state legislatures in places like Wisconsin still give you, the entirety of the state legislature pretty much, even if the state itself votes overwhelmingly for Democrats. Like, if you get the majority of votes, you should be possibly getting the majority of the state legislature. That's not how this happens in a state like Wisconsin, for example, where Democrats weren't even able to get 30% of the state legislature, despite the fact that they had 51% of the votes. Okay? Here it is. Here is the reality of Wisconsin. Democrats won statewide with 51% of the vote and earned 30% of the state house. But that's it. Not every state looks like that, and you don't have enough. You haven't cheated hard enough to be able to achieve those results. Maybe one day, but there are always going to be places like the fucking state level seats, like the Secretary of State or Senate seats, where redistricting is not going to help you in this regard. So you can't be running your fucking mouth off saying that like your goal as the Secretary of State is to ensure that no Democrat ever wins again.
Election, we are now projecting will lose. He'll be defeated by Adrian Fontes, who wins that race for Secretary of State in Arizona. Now we go up to Nevada. With Arizona, Democrat.
That wasn't the secretary. That was the governor. Wait, what are you talking about? No, Mark Finchem is the fucking statewide Secretary of State seat. What are you talking about? It literally says it on the board, chatter. Read, okay? Read.
To Nevada. With Arizona, Democrats move within one Senate seat of holding on to control of the Senate. Could it be Nevada that puts them over the top? Well, within the last hour, we got
821 vote difference between Laxalt and Catherine Cortez Masto. Holy fucking shit, dude. Nevada. Nevada!
About 10,000 votes from Washoe County. We had been told by officials that they had 20,000 more pending. We were expecting 20,000 or so in the release. There were 10,000 in this release. Catherine Cortez Masto won more of them than Adam Laxalt. It wasn't a huge margin that she racked up, but it was enough to cut Laxalt's lead, which had been about 2,000, to cut it down to 821 votes statewide. We are told there will be no more votes coming out of Washoe County tonight. So really, I don't think there's anything else that's going to be happening in Nevada tonight. We do believe that there still are something on the order of 10,000 ballots left to come out of Washoe County. Some of them may be provisional. Some of them may be these ballots that need to be cured. That is, the voters had a signature issue. It needs to be corrected. It can take a few days. So it may be a while before you see all those 10,000 from Washoe, meaning that the next major development in this Nevada Senate race and in the race for control of the U.S. Senate, all eyes are now on Clark County, home of Las Vegas, home to 70% of the vote in the state of Nevada. And we know that tomorrow, 25,000 mail ballots are expected to be released.
All right, our guy in Nevada is Ralston, right? Joe Gloria says all the remaining ballots besides cures and provisionals will be reported out today. This came in this morning at 11:30, okay? Which means there will be 22,000 ballots in Clark that will be counted, which is a gigantic percentage, okay? A gigantic percentage of the fucking vote, of remaining votes. And also, Clark County, for those of you who don't know, is obviously a blue county. So this is tonight will probably be projection night for Nevada. Why is Nevada always the last to count the votes? Man, they barely learned math yesterday, okay? That's it. It's Nevada. It's desert people, dude. It melts their fucking brain. Arizona, California, Nevada. The further out west you go, the less they learn math. They learn how, you know what they teach in schools out here? How to be gay. That's it. CRT, how to be gay. And if you want to learn math, they say, no, go piss in the kitty litter box. You are now a cat.
From Clark County. We got a big batch of these earlier tonight. Cortez Masto won them by an almost 2-to-1 margin. It's what brought her. It's what really helped bring her so close to catching Laxalt. And so you're seeing 25,000 more of them due to come out tomorrow, which raises the possibility that if Cortez Masto is winning those ballots, anything on the order of what she won them by tonight, not only will she pass Laxalt, she will pass Laxalt and take a significant lead in this race. Now, you do see the red counties between Reno and Las Vegas. They are generally Republican, generally rural, low population. There are some votes still to come out of this area, but those votes, while we expect they would favor Laxalt, the number of them pale.
I mean, yeah, colorfully offbeat is correct. Counting is literally illegal in casinos. Checkmate, libtards, you know? Nevada hates counting so much they made it illegal, dog. If you count cards, they literally will not let you into a casino. That's true. Incorrect. You are allowed to count. Oh, shut up. You are. Oh my God. Dick riding casinos, dude. Imagine. Yeah, it's not illegal. You won't go to jail for it, but you'll be blacklisted from every fucking casino. And by the way, in the state of Nevada, there is nothing else to do. Okay? So being blacklisted from casinos, if you live in Nevada, basically means you're blacklisted from the fucking state. What are you going to do? Go eat the peyote of the desert? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to fucking suck on a cactus? The fuck are you going to do? Nothing.
In comparison to what is still to come from Clark and potentially from Washoe as well.
There's more to do in Nevada than you think, LA man. Dude, stop. I have friends who live in Nevada, okay? I know what it's like, okay? You stay inside of that state for more than 3 days, it changes you. Stop. Don't act like there's more. It's just shooting guns, okay? It's shooting guns and doing drugs. That's it.
So, really, control of the Senate tomorrow could, I stress could be determined tomorrow in Clark County, because if Cortez Masto can do well enough with these 25,000 votes that we're expecting to see out of there, it could put her into the lead. It could put her significantly into the lead. And if Cortez Masto ends up winning Nevada, on top of what we just saw in Arizona tonight, Democrats would win both of those seats, would have 50 Senate seats. With that, they would be guaranteed to continue their control of the chamber with Kamala Harris's tiebreaker vote. And then that Georgia runoff, which will still take place on December 6th, would only be to decide whether Democrats have 50 or 51 seats. But control, then, in that scenario, would not be an issue.
Jerma, if he exists, is proof that Nevada messes with your mental faculties? Yes, 100%. No, Jerma does exist. And the reason why he's a psycho killer is because he lives in Nevada. Okay? He haunts the entire state.
CNN now projects that Democratic Senator Mark Kelly wins re-election in Arizona, pulling off a critical victory for his party. The former astronaut defeating the Trump-endorsed Republican Blake Masters in one of the most closely watched Senate races in the nation. Again, CNN...
Yeah, I mean, this was a fucking lock, okay? This was an absolute lock. Now, I'm going to skip that. I'm going to skip Wolf Blitzer's analysis on what happened, because we already talked so much about it, okay? We already talked so much about fucking Blake Masters already, but I want to hear from Blake Masters personally, because apparently Tucker Carlson thought that he would be a fun and cool person to have on, even though he's a pathetic fucking loser. Now, if you don't want to be a pathetic loser at the top of the hour, okay, and watch an ad, actually, that's too harsh. It doesn't matter. That's too harsh of a segue. I'm sorry. You know what? There are methods that you can use to avoid the top of the hour ad break, okay? It's coming right now, 11 minutes in. I felt really bad about that segue. I'm sorry. Some of those methods I can't tell you, okay? I can't tell you what those methods are, but you should know. At this point, you should know. Wink, wink. Okay. But also you can, you can subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Sometimes I get lost in the sauce. You know what I mean? Sometimes I have a juicy segue coming up and I totally fucking forget. Formerly Toxic, thank you for the 5. Spider from Mars, thank you for the 5. So hey Bozo, thank you for the 5. And the Gravy, thank you for the 5. Allowing like 20 people to fucking no longer see the ads. You can avoid the ads if you get gifted a sub. Here's the woman ad break now.
Blake Masters is running in the other big race in the state of Arizona, which, like the governor's race, is still nowhere near being settled. Masters says
Cap.
He can still win his race. He says there is evidence of true screw-ups in ballot counting. Counted ballots, uncounted ballots, somehow getting commingled into the same pile. So we asked Arizona officials for a response to these claims. We've heard nothing back from them. Blake Masters joins us now. Blake Masters, thank you so much for coming on. So tell us what you believe happened in some cases to ballots in Maricopa County, Arizona.
Well, first of all, Tucker, we're in a dogfight here in Arizona. My race will be very, very close. It's going to be decided by a few thousand votes either way. So there's hundreds of thousands of ballots outstanding, and they haven't been counted yet. which
Right.
apparently is hard for Maricopa County. I mean, things are just so incompetent here. The problems started Tuesday morning when 20 to 30% of the voting tabulation machines didn't work. This wasn't a surprise when Election Day was. It just didn't work. I mean, what the heck is that, right? Incompetence at the very worst. But then it got worse. So people, when they got to a machine and the machine didn't work, they were invited to just drop their ballot in a secure box. Hey, we'll count this later. Well, it turns out Maricopa County, on at least 2 occasions, mixed up those uncounted ballots with ballots that had already been counted. So it's a giant disaster. It's a giant mess to try to unmix these ballots, right? I think the most honest thing at this point would be for Maricopa County to wipe the slate clean and just take all the ballots and do a fresh count. We'll see if they do that.
Yeah, wipe the slate clean and just do another election. That would be the most honest thing to do, right, Blake? That's what you want. Blake lost so fucking hard. He's like, the most honest thing that Maricopa could do is basically just do another election. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Let's do another one. Come on. Fuck it. We ball, you know? Come on. Just throw it out. Nobody saw it. Nobody saw the results. Come on.
That, but it's just incompetent.
How could they not do that? I mean, how could it?
This is one of those instances where, like, if my man came back, okay, if my man fucking came back and did like another recount, if he came back and did like another fucking recount, he would lose by like even more votes. You know what I mean? It's one of those instances, like, he's such a fucking, he is so bad. He's just bad.
It be considered a legitimate election outcome, whether you win or lose. But just if you care about democracy, you would demand that every vote is counted and not double counted, correct?
That's exactly right. I think Arizonans deserve much, much better. And when
No, man. Nope. This is literally leaning into strategies that did not work. It does seem like, for all intents and purposes, Republicans are going on the exact opposite side, where they're just basically leaning in. Okay? Like, they saw the abortion shit pummel them, and they're still doing it in places like Kentucky, where the people of Kentucky unironically voted to protect abortions, right? To protect the right to be able to get an abortion. And the attorney general immediately came out and said, yeah, no, actually, democracy, not like that. We're not doing it that way. And now they're doing the whole, like, election denial stuff. That actually didn't work too well. A lot of the people that were pushing that narrative were just, like, weird and gross. And that wasn't captivating for a lot of people. Well, guess what? We're going to continue leaning into it. We're going to double down on it. And I am a little fearful still, because I do think that the likes of Tucker Carlson and others, especially because they are more effective propagandists, especially because they're doing propaganda and campaigning pretty much year round, that, like, they could potentially brainwash more of the Normans in the suburbs. I hope not, though.
Kari Lake is governor, they're going to get it. So Maricopa County elections, maybe they're working hard, God bless them. It's at best just incompetent. But you know what else is incompetent, Tucker? The establishment, right? The people who control the purse strings. Senate Leadership Fund, Mitch McConnell. McConnell decided to spend millions of dollars attacking a fellow Republican in Alaska instead of helping me defeat Senator Mark Kelly. Had he chosen to...
Yeah, bro, what does that say about you? Mitch knows how to pick winners, dog. He knew you were a fucking loser. It's like, dog, you can't. I'm sorry, man. You can't be out here talking shit about Mitch when you got your back blown out, dude. You got your fucking back blown out by a bald, moderate, libbed up Democrat in the state of Arizona by the widest of margins. He literally performed the worst in comparison to projections, expectations, in comparison to the National Party's performance. Blake Masters is like the single person that performed literally the worst. You're done. You're done. You got fucking owned. You can't be out here being like, oh man, Mitch McConnell, like, he really needs to resign or something. Yeah, in the words of esteemed Felix Biederman, bro, he thinks he's on the team. You're not on the team, dog. You're not on the board. You're not even on the bench. Just because you put the fucking jersey on doesn't mean you're on the team.
To spend money in Arizona, this race would be over. We'd be celebrating a Senate majority right now. And so my message to the people of America, my message to actually the Republican senators, hopefully my future colleagues, let's not vote Mitch McConnell into leadership. He doesn't deserve to be majority leader or minority leader. You get a choice.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, totally, dude. You got this. Yeah, no. Hey, guys, listen to me instead. You know, don't listen. Hey, guys. Hey, my fellow colleagues, come on. Come on, right? Let's do it, right? Come on, let's do yay. Here, this is the meme I'm referencing. Dude, who invited my man Blood? Bro thinks he's on the team, dude. What's up, bro? You think putting the fucking jersey on implies that you have a say in the conversation? Get the fuck out of here.
Choice. You can stand with your constituents and stand with Americans, or you can stand for Mitch McConnell. Tucker, if I'm lucky enough to represent Arizona in the U.S. Senate next year.
Mitch McConnell doesn't even step foot inside of his own goddamn backwater ass fucking state and blows everyone's backs out year over year, okay? Mitch McConnell literally is like, if you're poor, I will melt you into cannon fodder. If you're poor, you are biomatter. I despise you. I want to make sure my wife makes more money as the transportation secretary. And then Kentucky's like, that's right, sir. We will vote for you by 80% margins, sir. You got my vote. Like, the fuck do you mean? The fuck do you mean, dude? That's crazy. Where are you coming from? Win a seat.
I think it's clear where I'll stand.
Let me just ask you really quick. Why wouldn't, I mean, he spent money on primaries in Alaska. This is one of the big Senate races in the country, and he avoided it. Why wouldn't he support you, I wonder?
I will leave it to the viewer to decide whether it is just malice or whether it's gross incompetence. But clearly Mitch McConnell cares about Mitch McConnell and less about a Senate majority or the people of America. I think we need a change. That's why I ran for office. And one way or another, change is coming.
Yeah, no, totally, dude. Yeah, it is coming. You know, the Republican Party implosion. Change is coming to America, but not in the way that he understands it.
Blake Masters, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, God, I love infighting, dude. It's so sick. It's so fucking sick. It's so fire. The more these polls come out, the more frantic and desperate Trump is going to get with his attacks. Lamau, this should be fun. GOP presidential polling showing DeSantis at 42%, up 6 points, and Trump at 35%, down 10 points. Oh, my Lord. Holy fucking shit, dude. That's great. It's great to see. Oh, by the way, during the summer, Stephen Law, the head of a McConnell-aligned super PAC, told the financier Peter Thiel, who had spent millions supporting Mr. Masters, that Mr. Masters had scored the worst focus groups results of any candidate he had ever seen. This was the reason why Mitch McConnell very openly stated he did not want Blake Masters. He didn't even want fucking J.D. Vance, really. But Ohio is a safe haven now in a way that Arizona is not. Okay? Hillbilly Elegy touched my heart. Exactly, Seal Puncher. There you go. That's how you know he sucks. Did you see the scene edited out of the Blake Masters commercial?
Actually shooting with a silent protection.